JIS Dragons, executing a three-person drive to push the ball up the middle of the field. ISB retreating back, trying to get as far back as possible to be onside to defend effectively. JIS now with ISB and their heels against the goal line, so 2 touches to go before there's a turnover. As you know in touch rugby, touch football, of course, the attacking team has 6 touches to try to get across the team's goal line. So here come the ISB Panthers. ISB, of course, last year the second-place finishers at IASAS, perennially strong touch football program led by coaches Mr. Chad Bates and Mr. Andy Vaughn. And feels like it's been years of Bates kids and Vaughn kids terrorizing the rest of IASAS in this sport. And this year, sure enough, is no exception, as Malaya Vaughn, 10th grader, is on the ISB team here. She is number 8, hailing from New Zealand, but having lived in at Bangkok and been at ISB for most of her developmental life. So here come the JIS Dragons, pushing the ball up the field, executing a kind of 3-person drive here, pushing the ball intentionally up the left sideline, top of your screen, so that they can get their subs onto the field with minimal running distance. And we're seeing the great execution of the 3-person drive, where one person runs into contact, a half immediately picks the ball up, offloads to a teammate, and that teammate runs into contact, continually pushing the defending team backwards. So here are the JIS Dragons trying to lure the ISB Panthers off the goal line and then attacking the space behind the defenders as they retreat, running into contact. Okay, so JIS here not capitalizing on the retreating player, number 22. So here come the Dragons trying to get the ball out to the wing. Well defended on the outside there. We just witnessed an incredible game for those of you who are still tuned in to our girls' touch programming, SAS and ISKL, where the Eagles scored a try in the very last second of the game to win 2-1. But prior to that, the ISKL Panthers defending stoically at their own goal line for the better part of 8 minutes. All right, here come the ISB Panthers executing the 3-person drive almost to perfection. Player with the ball runs into contact. Immediately offloads to the half. The half immediately scoops the ball up and offloads to the next teammate who runs directly into contact. So great play here by ISB, but well defended by JIS. So that's number 14 playing defense for JIS. None other than Mei Kawamura, hailing from Japan, and grade 12. Now here's a 3-person drive, great effort diving play by number 34 for ISB. Referee checks with her colleagues if it's worthy of a try. There's no objection given. So that's number 34, Emma Stevenson. Of course, Emma Stevenson, senior this year from Canada. Great scoring effort by Emma, diving under the hands of the JIS defense. 1-0 for ISB. Okay, so in ISB, defenders not fully onside before they attack the defender. So what we'll see here is that JIS has 6 new attempts to try to score. So no try given. Well defended by the Panthers. JIS back to the 7-meter line, trying to mount an attack, luring the ISB Panthers off the line, and then trying to exploit the defenders as they get back to the line. Seems to be lots of room on the kind of top side of the field there, the far sideline. But of course, it's much easier for me to say and strategize. I'm not in play right now, and I certainly have a much better view of the full field than any of the players on the field do. So here's another 3-person drive being executed almost to perfection by ISB. Look at how much field space they can kind of conquer before they have to widen the field and try to expose and score on one of the wings. Unfortunately mishandled on the outside there by number 11 for ISB. And check that. That was number 19 for ISB. Gabriela Diaz Caldwell, 10th grader from the U.S. So here's a three-person drive. Oh, unfortunately mishandled by the JIS Dragon. So as a result, ISB can step over and immediately execute their own drive. Here's a mini two-person drive. Trying to come out to the wing here on this side. Run into contact. Half scoops up the ball. We're trying for a diving play there at 75. That's Nipita from Thailand. Unlucky, that's a dummy half touch. Immediate turnover, so the half who scooped up the ball is number 30. Once that player's touched, that's Vanille Newman. Results in a turnover. So here come the JIS Dragons, driving up the field themselves, trying to push the ball towards the sideline to make substitutions easy, and trying to back the ISB defenders all the way up. Here's number 12 for Jakarta. So run a little bit diagonally across field. That's Bianca Landerer. She's from Australia. Ball was mishandled by the Jakarta Dragons on the ground. It was kicked. So ISB get to run their own three-person drive. Here's the first touch. Half scoops up the ball. Here's the second touch. Half scoops up the ball. Running into contact, number 38. Oh, there's a gap up. Run into contact. Half. If the half gets touched here. Oh, claims she was touched by the Jakarta Dragons. Referee saw it. That's 5 touches, so one more before it's a turnover. So ISB trying to conjure up a little bit of magic here with their last effort. Oh, check that. That was not 5. That was 4. This is now 6. That was 6. So here come the JIS Dragons pushing the ball up the field and trying to exploit Bangkok defenders as they retreat to get onside again. Oh, mishandled by JIS once again. So at the end of the day, the fitness in the tournament is going to become relevant, where players have now played their second full game. They've committed kind of lots of time and energy and emotional bandwidth to the sport. And eventually, whenever you get fatigued, the issue is going to be that your play becomes kind of clumsy. So we're going to see some ball handling mistakes. We're going to see some defensive coverage mistakes. And we're going to see players and teams try to exploit those gaps and those seams when they occur. So a little bit too early of a dive. Number 30. Yeah, just got to get the ball. Number 30, Vanille Newman. Tried to dive across the line, but she hit the ground a little bit too early. So running into contact. Trying to exploit the absence of the defense. Ooh, there's a half touch. ISB trying to bring the ball back down to this end of the field. It's 5 touches. So Bangkok has 1 to play with. Let's see if they can get the ball across the line here. All right, that's number 43, Jasmine Blumenthal. Jasmine, also a 10th grader. Also known for her incredible ability as an IASAS volleyball setter. So here come the JIS Dragons trying to exploit this seam. Referee says she was touched at the midfield line, so they've got to retreat the ball all the way back. Flying fuck. So ISB staunchly defending. Defended the 6 touches. We got 5 minutes to play here in the first half. ISB leading 1-0. You'll see that the back and forth nature of this game requires incredible fitness. Coaches often highlight the importance of having 5 tools in this sport, so both the ability, speed as an ability, endurance as a fitness skill, agility as a fitness skill, and then the ability to throw and catch while you're running at speed and while you're running tired or while you're trying to be agile. Any player that has a combination of those 5 skills, when taught kind of the strategy, tactics, and vision on the field, can be an unstoppable demon of this sport. So here comes ISB. Half has the ball, can't risk being touched. Referee says off the mark, which means the player dropped the ball or dumped the ball in a place differently than where she was actually touched. So it's an immediate turnover for JIS. ISB now have to retreat every time to behind the referee's kind of line point to know that they're onside and that they can punch forward and try to attack the JIS ball carriers. Mishandled play by the JIS Dragons. That's the 3rd one today. So that's another example of possible fatigue, possible kind of losing focus because of both mental fatigue and physical fatigue. Here comes a 3-person drive by the ISB Panthers. You'll notice that the passing distance here is not actually very high, very far. It's just a little pop-up by the scrum or the dummy half. Very little room for error, and now that the ISB team is closer to the JIS goal line, they can take the risks on longer passes. Oh, there's a great run by ISB, exploiting the gaps behind the JIS defense. And we have a second try here, so we have a 2-0 ball game. ISB Panthers lead 2 to Jakarta Intercultural School Dragons 0. All right, so here come the Dragons with a foot tap, trying to re-engage the ISB defense and take advantage of the space behind the defense. So here's JIS trying to explore the left sideline. ISB Panthers not fully retreated back far enough to be onside as defenders. So JIS gets 6 new attempts at scoring. So JIS Dragons mishandled the ball just at the doorstep of the goal line. So ISB going to execute their 3-person drive once again, get the ball all the way downfield, and then spread the ball out wide. So here we go. Oh, there's a slick little crossover. This is a half with the ball, so she's got to watch out. She's got to offload it before she gets touched. Let's see what the ISB Panthers can do here. They seem to have changed their strategy. They're no longer pushing linearly. Oh, now they are again. Oh, that's great pace. Oh, great pace and speed shown by number 23. Well, referee's seen something. And it's a try. So that's London Olivia Tolan with great speed to pierce right through the JIS defense. So ISB now take kind of an assertive 3-0 lead here, having scored 2 of their 3 tries just in the last 3 minutes of play. But really, JIS Dragons pushing ISB back to their goal line. And then, unfortunately, unforced errors end up giving ISB the ball. ISB able to drive the length of the field and then punch through. And there's another example of the mishandled play by the JIS Dragons. So ISB going to recover the ball at their own 7-meter line. We'll see them drive the ball down the field. And then while JIS are struggling to retreat all the way back to their own goal line, we'll see that ISB is able to find this exploit the seams between JIS's defense. So here come ISB 3-person drive once again. Really pushing the JIS defense all the way back to their own goal line. Oh, ISB, uncharacteristic mishandling by the ISB Panthers. Hopefully the JIS Dragons can capitalize on it. So JIS now executing a 2-person drive, Trying to get out in front, trying to take advantage of the retreating defenders, but it all depends on how quickly you can place the ball on the mark that you were touched. If you have to, another unsuccessful pass attempt by the JIS Dragons. So here we go. We're going in right into halftime here. We have a beautiful afternoon in in Bonifacio Global City. We've got a score of 3-0 to the ISB Panthers. A little bit of a commanding lead.